All right, we're going to try this again. Last weekend I was up here and it was snowing. Yeah, it's early April, and in Washington there is one thing that you can count on, and that is the weather has no idea what it's supposed to be doing. This weekend it's supposed to be a nice warm 75 degrees. Okay, hold up. Let's rewind for just a minute. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard me rant several times about owning the lower receiver for the KS47 for well over 2 years, but not being able to finish building it because PSA does not keep the parts kits in stock. This is still the biggest issue with PSA. They have all these great guns and all these great parts kits. Unfortunately, even before COVID, availability has always been slim. When you see something in stock at PSA that you want, you better go ahead and add it to your cart and check out right then and there. No hesitation, because you may just miss your chance. See, PSA goes ahead and they develop these new guns, things like the Dagger or the Jackal, the ARV, the AKV. And then what happens is their other items tend to be back burner type items while they put their focus on these new guns that they're trying to put out. Hands down, this is my biggest frustration with PSA, and I'm hoping that at some point that they iron out these bugs, but we'll see how that goes. Enough about that. Let's get into the KS47. There are a handful of other manufacturers that are making AR platform rifles that take the 7.62x39 round. Unfortunately, most of those use a proprietary type mag system. The geometry of the 7.62 round, it's not real friendly to being in a mag designed where it starts out curved and then all of a sudden straightens out where it goes into the mag well. They don't work very well at all. Those mags tend to be why reliability tends to be hit and miss when it comes to an AR platform rifle that shoots the 7.62 round. PSA went to the design table and they said, okay, we're going to do this, but we're going to do it right. They made an AR lower that accepts pretty much any AK mag you can get your hands on. The reason that they were able to do that is they cut off the magwell portion and redesigned the locking system so that you can get an AK mag to lock in there reliably. Yes, it looks funny with no mag in it, but you know what? It works and it's solid. I don't really know why somebody didn't come up with this idea sooner, because realistically, it's ingenious. Most everything on this gun is standard AR parts. Things like the trigger, the safety selector, takedown pins, buffer tube, like all this stuff, it can be interchanged with all of your favorite brands and models of AR parts. Anything out there that you can find probably going to fit this gun. For me, that's what drew me to the KS47 was the modularity of the AR platform as a hybrid with the easy to find mags and ammo for the AK. Okay, so maybe the ammo isn't so easy to find right now. You wouldn't believe the shameful things that I had to do to get my hands on 1,000 rounds of 7.62 just to run this gun and bring you this review. Moving on. Some of the items on this rifle are proprietary, so don't think that you're going to just order the lower receiver and just slap a gun together. You're going to need PSA's lower receiver, upper receiver, and their bolt carrier group. That I can live with, even if it did take forever for me to get my hands on everything I needed to complete this gun. Now that it's put together, I can go ahead and I can start upgrading and swapping out different parts on it later on as we go. If you're watching this, chances are you're interested in getting your hands on a KS47 yourself. Pro tip, before you even start the break-in period, make sure that you swap out the charging handle to an ambidextrous charging handle. I went ahead and ordered an ambi charging handle from Mentium. I believe it cost me just shy of $25, and it fits and functions just as well as any of the $100 charging handles that are on the market. The reason that I upgraded the charging handle is that the KS47 does not have a last round bolt hold open. So every single time that you go ahead and swap mags, you're going to have to use that charging handle. Your standard mil spec charging handle, it's trash. It really is. It should be thrown in the trash, even if it's on your average 223. Having an ambidextrous charging handle that has a little bit more to grip onto makes life so much easier, especially on a gun like the KS47. This one single upgrade made all the difference in the world to how the gun operates. And for those of you out there who already own a KS47, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Something else PSA did here that was a little different was they added this oversized paddle style mag release. I found that the mags that I have locked in really well to the KS47, and that oversized paddle style mag release made it so easy to do mag changes. As far as performance goes, it ran really well for me. You know, it came in, I gave it a good wipe down, reassembled it, and slapped a spare Romeo 5 on top, and took it to the range. Now I'm open to suggestions for sight systems for this gun, so leave a comment down below. The Romeo 5 is just kind of temporary right now while I decide over the next couple months exactly what I want to do with sighting for this gun. You know, for putting a red dot on it, doing a rough zero, and then burning through 1,000 rounds over the course of 2 range trips, the KS47 was surprisingly accurate. Now, I did order the 16-inch barrel because, well, let's face it, the ATF, they can't figure out what in the hell their stance on pistol braces is. Also, I wasn't exactly focused on measured distances and shot groups while I was out shooting this thing. I do feel like the majority of the shots that I took with this rifle at various distances were pretty much dead on. So as far as that goes, I'm happy with it. My primary focus through that first 1,000 rounds was straight up just reliability. Like I said, most AR platform rifles that are shooting the 7.62 round, they're not known for reliability. So that was the thing that I really wanted to figure out right off the bat. All the ammo that I fed the KS47 was your run-of-the-mill, cheap surplus steel-cased garbage ammo that you would expect an AK to run. I didn't really oil it at all, didn't really clean it in between any of the shootings. I just put it together and started putting rounds through it. I wanted to give it every chance that I possibly could for the gun to actually fail me. It didn't. In fact, I think the first round, somewhere about halfway through, there was a failure to feed. I'm going to just chalk that up as a fluke because through the course of 1,000 rounds, that was the only malfunction that I had. Okay, so one failure to feed, and I'm just going to throw this out there. It didn't quite want to bump fire the way that any of my other ARs will. I think it's going to take a little bit more break-in, maybe an actual cleaning and some oiling, and then I should be able to get some pretty good bursts out of it when I take it out to the range. In the interest of not having this video pulled down by YouTube, I'm going to exclude that footage. All in all, I am super thrilled with the KS47. PSA really does have some of the best customer service in the industry, and they do stand behind their products. Like I said, the one drawback is always going to be product availability. So if you're interested in one of these rifles and you see it on their site in stock, you better buy it, because if you hesitate, chances are it could be a while before you actually get one. If you're looking for something that's a little out of the ordinary, something that's different from your average everyday AR, PSA's KS47 is a solid purchase, and I honestly can't recommend it enough.